Buongiorno. Welcome to our weekly topical discussion. Each week we pick a new topic to discuss, and we pick two games each, and we talk about it. So this week we have decided we're going to have six VR games, two games each, that are perfect for demo. So perfect demo material. You can put someone in who's new to VR, never tried new VR. Hopefully wow them, get them buying their own VR headset. As always, if you don't want to listen to us ramble about this, you just want the list, check the description. We'll put the list in there. We'll put timestamps in there so that you can just listen to each individual one if you want to. Let's start with the Roots. What's your first game that what would you put in a newbie into to showcase VR?
My first one was actually it's funny. It's a Wes's one for the week, Astrobot 2. And kind of touched on this a little bit in our weekly episode or our news segment. I picked this game because I just had a friend in town, and he's susceptible to motion sickness, and I was looking for games that I could put him in that would wow him, but not make him susceptible to that, but also get him on the right foot that platform games don't suck in VR, because I hear that from so many people, and the way that this game does it is so phenomenal. You couldn't play the game in and get the same thing outside of VR. You have to play it in VR, in my opinion, to get the full experience. So I just think it's a great game. There's no risk to motion sickness. It's everybody's platformed, so you don't have to explain anything. You hand the controller to them, and then the way that they incorporated the controller into it, I think, is so unique for somebody new in VR. I just think it's something that really should be. If you've got a PlayStation VR and you've got this game and somebody's new, I don't see why you don't put them in this.
So let me ask you a question, because you said that you put this guy in Skyrim and he lasted like 2
Mhm.
seconds before he had to bounce out. So did he actually play this? Because there is movement, obviously, you are moving kind of forwards, I guess, with this, even if it is a third person perspective. So did he
I,
manage to get through this without any
I no, I
issues?
didn't get a chance to get him in this one. Actually, I wanted to. Well,
Okay.
see, my thing is there was so much that like he wanted to go in, and I was a little worried about the movement, but I think it's a little bit different type of movement. I don't know. I don't get motion sickness, so maybe somebody that would be like, nah, dude, this would be really bad. But it's like the way it moves is
I think
short movements. It's not a bunch. It's like it moves a little bit with you, um, and then forward.
yeah,
So
I think it'd be a good one to maybe get people's VR legs, because it's kind of
a mix.
you're at your own pace. You can move the character forwards. Uh, and the thing about this as well is because I have this discussion with my brother all the time about you can't be bothered to stand up and wave his arms around. And with this, you are sat with a controller. It's like a traditional controller game. So it's a perfect transition for someone who's used to just sitting there with a controller and knows how to use a controller. They haven't got to learn about grip buttons or any fancy move controllers or anything like that. They can sit there, use the controller, play around, and just experience VR in that form. So yeah, I think I agree with you. It is a good demo game. What do you think, Wes?
Yeah, I think it's perfect. Anybody, even people who aren't gamers, most people have played Mario, and this is the closest thing we have to Mario in VR. And to what Roots was saying about putting his friend in Skyrim, it's hard, man. When you're bringing somebody and you have this one chance to sell them on VR, it's hard not to put them in just the best that VR has to offer right off the top. And you may not be thinking about motion sickness or how good they are with controls. Skyrim's a hard game to play, pick up on flat, let alone in VR. But it's so beautiful, that you kind of want to put them in there. But this game is perfect for newbies. It's very intuitive, especially for people who have experience with Super Mario Brothers. They're going to pick this up and play it right away. The movement is on a rail. It's straight for the player. For the first person experience. It's on a rail. So yeah, it's a good game to for someone to get their VR legs with. Motion sickness in VR is, especially for newcomers, is a real thing. It's not a placebo effect, as some people like to say. It's very real. My wife, for an example,
My
got
wife.
My wife.
suck it, suck it, both of you. But you know who else will never know. Anyway, she would get deathly ill when she was a new player, and it wasn't because she was afraid of it. She wasn't thinking about it at all. But 5 minutes in any game would make her deathly ill. She would throw up.
But she's fine now.
Every time. But she's fine now, and it's through games like this. She's got some time in. Her brain has acclimated to to what it's like to be in VR, and she can play hours on end now, no problem. And it's all thanks to games, this game in particular, as well as others. So yeah, this is a great pick.
Yep. Okay. So what's your pick then, Wes? What's one of your picks?
Well, I picked my first pick is really the one I always go to, and that's PSVR Worlds. And the reason that this is such a great demo title is there's something in here for everyone, from the 90-year-old grandma who's never played a video game to the experienced flat gamer who it's going to take something to really impress them. There's a little something for everybody in here. First of all, you have your Ocean Descent. It's basically what PSVR Worlds is it's a collection of mini games, short VR tech demos, let's say, each from different genres, very short, very easy to pick up, very well done by London Studios, high production quality, all of it, and yeah, something for everyone. There's the Ocean Descent, which is you're just in a shark cage, and you're getting dropped to the bottom of the ocean, to the ocean floor, and there is a story to it. Actually, there's two modes. You can go through it once with no story, and you can go through it in another mode that it has a story. There's a little bit more that happens to it. Both visually stunning. Nothing required of the player but sit there and experience it. And there's a sports game, Danger Ball, that shows off the 3D effect of VR really well. There's a Street Luge, VR Street Luge game, where you're laying on your back, going downhill on these roads through traffic, and it's completely steered with your head, so you don't need to know how to use a controller even. You can just get into VR, see what it's like to experience real speed in VR. There's a game called Scavenger's Odyssey, which is an asteroid hopper in space, also story based. It's a kind of like a mech shooter, but you're not walking, you're kind of jumping through the game. That one, not the best for people who are prone to motion sickness, so beware, but definitely a fun game to play for even an experienced player. And then there's the London Heist, and we all know about the London Heist. It is what introduced many of us PSVR gamers to hand presence in VR. It's basically a miniature version of Blood and Truth, which is another great option for a VR newbie, Blood and Truth. But when it came down to it, I picked VR Worlds for the variety. There's something in there for everybody, and it's always my go-to. When I have one shot to show someone VR, I always go with PSVR Worlds. Roots, I know you have this game. I don't know if you've played through every single app in it. There's a lot of content here. What do you think about PSVR Worlds as a demo? for
I think you're right. It's amazing. There's so many different things. Like even like you said, you're putting your grandma on there. You're not going to stick her in Astrobot. Probably not. But you could stick her in a Shark Tank and actually get some entertainment out of watching her freak out when the shark's trying to come get you. I think it's perfect. It's a really good game. I was looking at this luge thing, and I haven't tried it yet, but when I was downloading the trailers for this and the videos, I thought this really looks well done, and I guess everything in this thing is well done, and that's another reason to get somebody into it that's new, because we're all trying to impress people, right? We're trying to showcase the best of VR, or give them something that we know that they're going to like, and this has so much to it, kind of like my other choice, that you have a good shot of getting something that they're gonna enjoy. So
yeah, and definitely check the VR Street Luge out. It's definitely worth the play. That it's good enough that I think that if they designed more levels for it, some more scenery, some more tracks, they could have made a game out of that, but they didn't. The only game that this has spawned is Blood and Truth, which is one of the all-time best PSVR games. So
it's coming though. How about a really cool skateboarding, like a Tony Hawk game in VR or something? There's going to be so many games. Like if you think we've got cool games coming out this year, give it another year. Let's talk in 2020 at this time and see what we'll be looking back at Blood and Truth and saying, oh yeah, that was cool, but look at this game. It's just we're hitting so fast, everything's getting so much better, right?
They're going to be like classics, aren't they? In a few years' time, they're going to be the games you look back at and they were the beginning and the starter games. But some of the stuff we're going to get is going to be
next level.
Slightly off topic we're going on, but yeah, yeah. Anyway, I'll move on to the next, which is one of my picks, which is a very obvious one, but someone's got to pick it, which is Beat Saber. Beat Saber is the one probably that whenever I demo VR, put them in Beat Saber. Very simple, 2 lightsabers, blocks coming towards you, slash through the blocks in the direction to the beat. It's got easy, medium, hard, expert. Everyone, every skill level can play it, and every time people play it, this is one of those games like that. People who have no interest in games will jump in this and will love it. So it's just got universal appeal. I do find that when I've got the PC version with custom tracks, and I do find that if you let them flick through the custom tracks and find a song that they really like, the amount that they love it goes up by 10%, and they go from wow, this is cool to oh my god, this is amazing. So if you do have custom tracks, just try and let them just pick their own, because yeah, it's very. I think the things like this are very sensitive to the music, and having a track that a song that they really like that they can get into helps with the game. Yeah, do you guys agree? Roots, do you agree? This is a perfect demo material?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's perfect too because even people that don't know VR too much because of that big press thing with Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Like even my friend, when he came and I showed him this, and he's like, oh yeah, I've seen this on on YouTube or whatever. So like, and he'd never done anything YouTube or VR rather. So
it's been on TV, isn't it? I mean, it was on
Leno or Kimmel, yeah.
Yeah.
Or, no.
Kimmel, yeah.
It's been on a couple of things. So yeah, so it's been hype. So it's one thing that they're like, oh yeah, I've wanted to try this, and then like you said, it's so simplistic, and I think you nailed it. If you can get a song that just anything like that, I mean, you enjoy a car ride better if you listen to a song you like. So why wouldn't you enjoy playing the game as well, right?
Yeah.
So.
Wes, I think your kids have been playing this, haven't they?
Yeah, what I think makes this a great, not just a good, but a great demo for newbies is the fact that everyone loves this game, right? Everyone who's ever played this game. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, I really just don't care
Gary.
for Saber.
Yeah,
really?
Gary from Roundtable.
I I'm convinced that he
He closet.
He needs to get custom tracks down and find a song that he likes, and I think he'll change his mind on it. So.
But anyway, my point is that when we demo VR to newbies, why are we doing it? Well, partly, if not mostly, the reason why we're doing it is because we want them to be so impressed with it that they're going to leave and they're going to go get their own. And I think this is a great title to do that, to put someone in and have them really be wowed, impressed, and then go off and buy their own, Quest or PSVR or even, go overboard like we did and build these killer rigs to play it on. But yeah, I think that Beat Saber's perfect for that reason.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's move on. Everyone knows Beat Saber is a good demo game, or one of us had to pick it. So let's move on to Roots. What's your second game, last game for demo?
My second game, which again another obvious one that had to be on there, is The Lab by Valve. And this again, the same reason as PSVR Worlds, but I guess it's on the PC side, it's just got so many different types of experiences that are really cool that I feel like you have a good chance of impressing them with it. And they're all good. Each one of them are unique. Even though this came out with the Vive literally on day one, I don't even feel like it feels dated. The bow and arrow thing is still some of the best bow and arrow that I've done outside of In Death. And then it's got comedy to it. Like I just feel like you can't go wrong with this game, and it's free. So like if you don't even have a game, if you don't have any money, you can download this and show your friend or somebody 5 or 6 different experiences that I thought were really cool and did blow me away. So
yeah, I completely agree. This is one of the early things I tried, because obviously I went through a lot of free stuff before I started buying games, and this was really cool. It's got multiple different games in there. You've got the longbow, which is my favorite, which is like a wave shooter, but you're on like a turret, and it's just really well done. Like the graphics as well, they're very sharp. In this, I think they use their own in-game like source engine, which is why I'm looking forward to seeing what Valve produce, because it looks so good. Even today, this is one of the very first VR things that came out. When you go in that portal, there's a portal experience where one of the characters from the Portal games comes in and he walks in, and you get that sense of scale, and you have to pull him out and try and fix him, and you can get so close in there, and it looks so sharp and crisp and clear. And there's the comedy aspect of it. I put my niece in there, and she spent ages just in the one with the dog. When you throw in the stick and there's this little dog robots chasing after it. So it's got something for everyone in there. And this is definitely, I mean, even if you're not a newbie and you've not checked this out, it's free. Just pick it, just get it downloaded and try it, because you can spend a good, hour, 2 hours in there just messing about and having fun. So,
yeah.
Have you tried this, Wes?
No, I don't play free stuff, bro. No, I don't know. There is something about free stuff for some reason. I just don't ever have the impetus to go and download it and try it out. I haven't even played Rec Room for
Are you seriously not tried this?
No, I haven't.
No.
I basically just play mostly paid content.
Well, we need to do some. We need to do some Rec Room, dude.
Stuff,
like we need to do like a legit one of those, because then there are no kids involved. We can do like the Pirates theme or something. That'd be cool.
I want to do the Castlevania.
Yeah,
the Castlevania.
That'd be cool too. So.
Yeah, you should try this out, Wes. This is awesome. This is really well.
Yeah, I know.
This is polished as hell. It's got a game where you've got like a little spaceship.
Oh yeah.
But the spaceship is your hand. So when you're basically having to control the spaceship by just moving your hand and you're shooting, and like it's really good. There's some really
when you played this out, that spaceship, Alex, did you think about Asteroid? Like, imagine playing That's what I thought about. Like, can you imagine being in Asteroid with that ship? It's really cool, Wes, and I would imagine your kids would really like it as well. So
there's a magic shop. There's a slingshot where they like they're saying funny lines, and It's great. It's really good. I mean, this is one of the best free things you can get.
I know. I'm too good to play free stuff out.
Okay.
Okay. No, I'm sure it's great. It's just like everything else. I just have so much time, and for some reason, whenever I have my little bit of time I have to play VR, I don't think about the free stuff as being. I don't know. I don't consider it.
See, and that's kind of dangerous, and that's why I think I'm glad that we do the 6 things that we do every week, because, like, if you think about it, if you just by that aspect of free, you would never have tried the Scream or the Wolves in the Wall, and I think, to me, those two are two things that I feel like you miss out if you don't try them. If anything, just to try them, So.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that statement. Those are both very good.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do an experience one more, something where and we'll pick this and you'll have to try it, because you'll be surprised how good this thing is. So.
And maybe that's a good concept for a new segment, right? We each have
a game
pick something that the other guys have to do.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right, so let's move on to Wes. What's your last pick?
All right, so my last pick is Until Dawn: Rush of Blood. So this game, this really is the game that really made me fall in love with VR. This was when you get PSVR, they come with this demo disc. There's 3 of them now, and you can download them. You don't actually have to have the disc. But there's a collection of demos on it, all awesome games. Normally, there's little short experiences. And one of the things on the demo disc was the second level of Until Dawn: Rush of Blood. And this game is just awesome. And it's a great demo because it's so easy to play. This is a rail shooter, so there's no locomotion in it, okay? You're on a roller coaster here. But this is no ordinary roller coaster, and you're not just riding either. So you get in this, and you're going down the track, even through the menu. This, what you're looking at here, this is the menu screen. And as you get into the game, as you'll see in a moment, you have to hold out your move controllers. You press the move buttons, and then all of a sudden, you have arms. There's no floating guns, no floating hands in this game. You have your full body, and you have arms. And it is tracked perfectly. 1-to-1, your arms are where they're supposed to be. And even with the guns and the aiming, it's all very well done and aims, perfectly. I've never had issues with moves drifting anyway. I have had it with aim, but not with moves. But even amongst the best move controller games, this is one of the better tracking ones. And it's kind of got an aim assist built into the way it is, because the game is a dark game and your guns have flashlights on them. So it makes it easy to aim. If you've got, something is illuminated brightly, you have it in your crosshairs. So it's really a shoot from the hip rail shooter with a kind of an evil theme to it. Really gruesome in some areas too. Really shocking, gory stuff in it. But it's the reason why I picked it is, one, you get that sense of height and speed that you get from a roller coaster sim, but you get the ease of playing that you would get from a rail shooter. And the graphics are very good. They still hold up today, even though this was a launch title, 3 years old. The graphics still wow you, especially the outdoor scenery. When you're going through the outdoor levels and it's snowy and there's trees and you're out in the woods, it really feels like you're outside. And I've had my father in this game. He played it and loved it. My father-in-law played this game and loved it. And my kids played this game and loved it. So absolutely a great demo title. No motion sickness here. Very easy to play, and big time wow factor with this game.
Yep, Roots.
Oh yeah, I picked this up when I got my PlayStation VR. I bought it at the same time, just because I had heard. I think Anthony was talking about it way back in the day, and I think it's perfect for somebody new in VR because there's not anything to learn. You know, once you get on that roller coaster, you have your guns, and even if you have the controller to make it easier, it looks like you just using the two guns and aiming. And it's a shame that they don't. Like, there's that one game that I can't remember what the name of it is. I have it on the PC. Like, if Alex wanted to try this, it's similar, but then like the
Ghost
train, but then like you're out walking around at some point. It's not, it's like, to me it felt like it was trying to be this and it's not. And this gets so fast paced and you're ducking and shooting stuff and even the beginning, the way they do it, it just you think this isn't that weird, not that bad, and then it just gets crazy. It showcases VR in just that it's just so bizarre and it's so different from anything that I would think anybody in VR that's never tried VR would try. I think it would be a great thing to for them to check out. So
Yeah, the Ghost Town Mine Ride is a game that's sort of similar to this, but this game is way better by orders of magnitude. There were things I didn't like about the Ghost Town Mine Ride. There wasn't very much I disliked about this one. This buttery smooth AAA experience here.
Okay. We'll move on to my last pick, which is another super obvious, and it's actually called Superhot. So, Superhot is very basic shooter. It doesn't look that much on the screen, but we all know how awesome it is in real life. And the thing is with this is it's just because of the way the gun mechanic work with I mean, I've had people in this who are not gamers and they pick it up straight away. They pick up how to pick things up, they're throwing things, they're taking the time, they're going into slow motion. It's just a really cool mechanic that allows anyone to play it without, it's just, there's not really much more to say on Superhot. If you've already played it, you know what I'm talking about. Perfect demo material. Wes, what do you think?
I think it's absolutely a great demo game. I think it's a very good demo game for flat gamers because this game is a shining example of why graphics aren't that important in VR. In VR, it's all about the experience and the gameplay. And to look at this game on a flat screen, you'd think it's crap, but it's not. It's one of the best games in VR. You're stationary in your spot throughout the game, so there's no risk of motion sickness with this game. And it's a pretty good workout. And on top of all that, it makes you think as well because there's a lot of puzzle aspects to the way the gameplay is set up. So yeah, 100% agree. This is a great demo title.
Bruce, anything else to add?
No, I put my friend in this weekend, and he really liked it. Although this is one of those games when you put somebody new in, doesn't matter who they are, you get nervous because they're swinging and punching, and my friend is like he makes MainFan look like he's never worked out in his life. Like he's that yoked. He's like buff. And that's not knocking MainFan because MainFan makes me look like a cream puff. But so as he's doing all this, I really was not only worried about my stuff, but I've got a solid wall right here that he could smash his hand into behind him. So I'm worried about that as well. So but it's one of those games that's so immersive, even though the graphics and so intuitive that there's no holds bar. They're just now within a minute or two, they're full force swinging. And even myself, I made me blush because I'm afraid to swing. So I too many West stories where people break their stuff. I'm afraid to break something. So
yeah, you definitely lose yourself in this and get carried away, like dodging and ducking and weaving and punching, and yeah, it's just perfect. It's a perfect one because I've demoed a few different games, and this is just one of those that leaves people massively impressed, and they want to play more of it. So again, it's a perfect demo game to get people hooked and to make people realize how cool virtual reality is. So, unless anyone else has got anything else to add, we will end this episode. Yeah, as per usual, hit the like button if you like it, dislike it if you don't like it, subscribe, check out the Discord and the links below. This is a weekly thing. We do this every week. We do 5 videos a week, 3 reviews, 1 topical discussion, and then we do a weekly games cast where we cover all the latest news. So if you like VR, you want to hear the latest information or even about new or old games, check us out and subscribe.
And if you like predictions from Ginger, Nostradamus Ginger, or whatever you want to call yourself, he's got a track record. He's given Anthony a run for his money. Let's put it that way. So
yeah, I mean that's 1 for 1.
Yeah, 1 for 1.
I've predicted one.
That's right.
Yeah, that's my track record.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, we'll see you later.
Yeah, you guys have a good day.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.